Awesome. Okay. This is Bryce Van Patten with Metal Express Radio Backstage. And the Ohio-based band Solar Flare has recently released their first self-titled album. And today I'm talking with Fish, the bass player of the band. How are you doing today?
Good. How's it going?
Going awesome. Awesome. If someone knew nothing about your sound and your band and you had to describe it to them in an elevator pitch, what would you say?
I'd say Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, and Ozzy Osbourne had a baby. Right? Queensryche kind of as like a surrogate parent involved as well. And then our child is sort of the amalgamation of that.
Awesome. Awesome. So can you tell us a little bit about the heavy metal scene there where your band is based in Cincinnati?
Yeah, we're one of the few, if not only, like power, like traditional heavy metal bands around in the area. There's a lot of death metal acts. There's a lot of thrash metal acts. Actually, good friends of ours, War Curse, are based out of the Cincinnati area. We been shows with them here lately. They just got signed with Metal Blade Records, so they're on their way. So they're we're gonna play some shows with them, see what happens.
Great. Is there a lot of? I mean, what's the metal scene like? Is it pretty active?
Yeah. Shows about every weekend. There's a guy down there, Transplant Productions, Will Finer. He does a lot of stuff with the local metal scene. He'll do multiple venues he's in good with. He'll get booked different rotations of shows, get bands from out of town and stuff. People go to it. So, I mean, it's really helped build that community up.
Awesome. So your first full-length album came out in 2020, and it's been just, a year and like 4 or 5 months, something like that? December? Yeah. How has it been received?
So far, so good. I mean, we've been getting a lot of positive feedback from it. A lot of people are saying it's a strong debut album and they'd like to hear more. Us personally, we're working on our second album right now.
Excellent.
So we're still trying to push that first album. We're still playing all those songs live, but we're also in the creative process of trying to get, a whole new slate of songs ready to go. So.
Right, for sure. Can you talk about your recording process and basically how an album comes together for you guys?
Yeah, sure. So we went into the studio, basically just recorded the tracks, Pro Tools, all that, built the album up, sent it off to be mixed and mastered with somebody. I actually did not record on the first album, so I can't really speak in length about, what the rest of the guys did. But as far as our process going, we're to get our new songs down, we're recording just scratch tracks because we have a board and everything right there in our practice studio. So we're able to get like rough tracks together, skeleton tracks, stuff like that, and then just add things to it later on once we get the parts solidified. That way we all know what the song is. And then once we do go into the actual studio, we'll have it ready, one take it, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Cause it's always big bucks to go in the studio. Right. So, do you guys have a producer or are you guys producing your own stuff or how is that working out? Since you weren't involved with the first record, on the project, the way it's going now, you guys plan on bringing in a producer or is the band going to do it?
Well, the way we see it right now, we have 5 producers, and that's each one of us. Right. They didn't bring anybody in the first album. We're not really looking to bring anybody in the second album. We kind of know the direction that we're trying to go. And we all have diverse musical backgrounds anyway. So, I mean, one person likes one idea, then somebody will be like, well, I think it would sound better if, we add this to it, something like that. Well, okay, well, I don't know if the fans would like that. Let's try it this way. And then, just compromise is what makes the dream work.
Right. Everybody is open to a little bit of suggestion, and that's what makes things really, stick together and help, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. There's no egos in our group. That's for sure.
That's excellent. Can you talk about the pandemic and how it's affected your life as a musician?
They made us take about like a year and a half off of playing shows. definitely hurt the whole, going out and promoting ourselves type deal. We did a lot of internet.
Right. Your album just came out, right? And
then it's the album came out. They lost about 3 members of the band. So then I joined them a few months later. I was like, okay, so what are we doing? Well, nothing right now. We got this pandemic going on. It's like, oh, okay, cool. So, it was sort of just like a year of just me being with them, gelling with some ideas, bouncing ideas for new stuff off the wall, learning the old material, stuff like that, getting the stage show ready, which, we put on an entertaining stage show. We got lights, dragons, we got lasers, fog machines and all that. So, we worked on those types of details. So really it's kind of like a fine tuning type time where we was able to come out of the pandemic and play our first show and be, people are like, hey, where'd these guys come from?
Awesome. Well, it certainly gives time to tighten everything up, right?
Oh, for sure. Definitely. And that's what we took that time to, regroup, reform, get everything nuts and bolts screwed in and get that finished product out there. So.
Excellent. So, I understand that the band is currently on Alone Records out of Greece. Do you know, or can you talk about how that came to be?
So what I'm told is that was a distribution type deal that we got with them. I actually believe our contract's up with them in May. So we've been actively seeking like a slightly larger label just to sort of boost our distribution more worldwide. Or instead of more like European centric, because we target a lot or market heavy to South America, Brazil, areas like that. And they seem to be very popular down there. So we're looking for something a little bit bigger that can get us down there. But working with Alone has been great. They initially printed 500 of our albums. We sold out of those. They printed more of them for us, no charge. And just per terms of our deal that we got with them. So. And they've been selling our album on their website and everything. But we have had communication with them. They're just a smaller operation.
Right. I looked them up and noticed I've been myself in the heavy metal scene for a long time too. And for the longest time, little labels like that in Europe, Greece and Italy have been, keeping things pumping out there for independent artists. They're doing the distribution. So I'm glad that that's worked out for you guys and it's been a positive for you. So are you guys looking to then up to like you say, to something that give you a little bit more reach?
Yeah, definitely. And we have our EPK. We've been shopping that around in different places, talking with different people. So we've got a few things sort of, on the line for that. Excellent. I can't go into much detail, but.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. So does the band have plans for a tour this year?
If we can make it happen. We were looking at doing sort of like a, regional run here in the United States, probably like Midwestern area, just doing like, say 2 weeks to book up and down, Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin type places and come back to Ohio. But, we're open. So we're looking at festivals or anything we can jump on, really. So
great. I wanted to ask if you guys could get on a tour with any band in particular, who would be your dream pick for the perfect band to have Solar Flare be on tour with?
I know my dream pick right now would probably be Sabbath, and those guys are real one of my favorites. I saw them open for Judas Priest back in September last year. Sabaton.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, those guys are excellent.
But I saw them with open for Priest back in September, and they had a tank on the stage, everything else. They came out, they killed it. All their harmonies were on point. I was like, these guys, yes. And I've always been
pretty amazing band. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, so no, they're awesome. Yeah, I guess they just did a thing at a museum over in England, military museum, that they were going to close down, and those guys did a crowdfund to keep the museum open. Nice. And it's they do all kinds of stuff with history. They're all about history in their site and everything they do. So Sabaton's really quite amazing. Yeah, that would be really good. From what I've heard of your record, you guys would be right in a good fit with those guys. So, what else does 2022 have in store for Solar Flare?
Hopefully the completion of our new album. We're trying to get that done hopefully by fall of, October-ish, November-ish, around there. Possibly a December release, but that's what we're going to be focused on this for the remainder of this year, is just working on that second album, getting the songs down, getting into the studio, getting it recorded. And we're still going to play shows. It's nothing like crazy. Like I said, we're trying to book that regional tour towards the end of the year. So probably about October, November, hopefully, book that in to support the release of the album.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be awesome.
Goals for the rest of the year. So.
Cool. Is there anything else that you wanted to add, or anything, a shout out you'd like to give, or anything you'd like to say for the band?
It's www.solarflaremetal.com. We keep that updated all the time. Give you a treat to everything else. Our Bandcamp, we got merchandise on there, t-shirts, keychains, lanyards, pretty much everything you could want. We're trying to expand our online presence, more international based. So we're definitely keeping up on our social medias. Just stay tuned for updates. As far as shout outs go, shout out the rest of the band. Hey guys, if you're watching.
Awesome. Well, hey, it's really been great talking to you, Fish. The band Solar Flare, the debut album is self-titled Solar Flare on Alone Records. It's a good album. People should check it out. It's a nice mix of power metal and American speed, I kind of felt. And thanks again, Fish, for joining me, and best to you and the rest of the band.
Really appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Thanks again.